Hey guys, what's up? This is 8-Bit Eric. Today I am going to talk about my favorite retro beat 'em up game. Beat 'em ups are a genre that are actually, they still have that old school nostalgic feeling of being in the arcade, just, smashing the buttons, beating the crap out of anything that walks in the game, a quarter eater. You get those game overs, you just have to play. They're addictive. You have the Final Fight series, you got all sorts of games, Streets of Rage, but you know what? The one that sticks out in my mind overall as one of the best retro beat 'em up games was Double Dragon. Yes, it's cliche, but Double Dragon just reminds me of growing up, having a pizza parlor right down the street called Pizza Inn, and just hearing the arcade machine in the background while I was eating my pizza, calling me, beckoning me. But of course, growing up, your parents wouldn't let you leave the dinner table without finishing your food first to go play your arcade games. And a game must be pretty darn good if a kid is willing to sacrifice eating pizza to go play it instead. Double Dragon just screamed action, beat 'em up. Like, it was one of the first beat 'em up games I ever played. I just thought it was overall kick-ass. It was difficult, but what more could you need in a beat 'em up? I was stoked when my older brother actually bought the Sega Master System version of Double Dragon because it had the 2-player simultaneous, and it was a little bit of a letdown that there was a lot of flickering and slowdown problems on it. But when you're a kid and you're like 6 years old, who gives a shit? There's nothing really to compare that to besides the arcade machine, and we sure as hell didn't have an arcade cabinet at our house. And it really didn't bug me as far as how the game was until, years later when I played, the game when I was trying to reminisce about it. And I've noticed how bad it was. But at the time, it was pretty fucking awesome that the Sega Master System had a 2-player version of Double Dragon, because the NES version was just 1 player. And that kind of sucked to sit there and watch, your older brother play the game and you were just sitting there by yourself. So when we played the Sega Master System version, it was just like being at Pizza Inn but at home, minus the pizza, unless our parents decided to go ahead and throw us a few bucks and get us a pizza. And I think Double Dragon just screams 90s arcade smash hits, and I think that's what beat 'em ups should be about. There's a lot of beat 'em ups on a lot of early consoles that just don't have that passion or that power behind them that Double Dragon had. Double Dragon left a huge impression on me, and a lot of retro gamers that I know agree to it. Double Dragon is one that is very common that you can pick up on either system, on the NES or the Sega Master System. Not to mention, there's been countless releases over the years, so if you haven't played it, it's one that I highly recommend. And well guys, what is your favorite retro beat 'em up game? Comment below, and that's it for today guys. Peace out.